And here we are. I feel like there should be like music or something like AC/DC Thunderstruck as we roll into this. It's like the first one. So, Angery American, you guys all know that. And there's T right there jumping in. And over there is Imri. You guys are seeing him different than me. And down there is Seaux Larreau. So, these are Mr. T. Robert Toombs of Mountain Readiness. Let me get it right. And Mr. Imri Morgenstern of Prime Combat Training. Sorry. And then Sue of, I don't know, are you even employed right now, Sue?
I hang out with Tactical Rifle.
There you go. I was just talking to Carl, too. He's still on a walker and said, never, never, never get knee replacement.
Until you need it.
Until you need it.
Especially a wee knee replacement. Yeah.
Oh. So what do you guys think? It's our first one. How many people we got in the house? We got a few people checking us out. Walt Browning in the house. What is up, my man? We did a book signing over the weekend up at Always Armed in near Orlando. It was a good time. And we got some other good folks in the house tonight too. So what have you guys been up to today? Anything fun, exciting at all? Anything?
I've been loving on goats.
Been what?
Well, I'm sorry, what?
What'd you say?
I've been loving on goats. Not in
on
a
goats.
way.
Loving on goats. Right on.
Which
You've been
means
hanging out with Alan?
That's right.
Yeah, that's as primitive as you can get right there. Hanging out with goats.
Not so primitive, really. But
Yeah. Depends on what you're doing with goats.
Romantic. Take it.
Actually,
I'm not worried. Imri always picks the ugly ones.
Yeah, it's okay because
he's a good wingman. Great wingman there.
Best goats to date.
He'll hold the halter for you.
Yeah.
Sue's got those really good oversized rubber bands.
We were playing survivalists here. We lost our power yesterday. That was fun. So went the whole, until today. Then it come back on, but it was woke up in the morning and still no power. And I was like, I got 30 gallons of water in the tank downstairs, so we'll be good. And come to find out, the check valve on the pump it got stuck, so all the water just drained out. So then it was plan B, go pick up the water that I got stored out in the trailer, So it was you got to have a plan B, plan C, plan D. That's how the morning started. So it's good though. It's good. It's good for stuff like that to happen. Keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely.
Never a dull moment.
Good for everybody.
I'm 150 miles, maybe 150 miles away from T, and I was checking on my clandestine gardening today, and everything's up and running. So we got some rain out here, and because of all the things that vine out, mostly the gourds, your squash, your pumpkins, your cantaloupe, your watermelon, all that kind of stuff takes over your vegetable garden. What I did was plant it up in the hills around my driveway and everything, and hopefully it'll vine over the weeds, and instead of having weeds, I'll have squash and watermelon and pumpkins and all that. So I'll let you guys let you know how that goes. I'm kind of copying the old cannabis growers, what I used to see out there in Kentucky and things. So I'm kind of copying them.
Take some pictures of it, Sue, and we'll put them up so people can see what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what, Sue? As long as your house doesn't start smelling like patchouli, I will allow it.
Smelling like patchouli. Hey, guys, real quick. On tonight, we're going to give away a T-shirt. So the giveaway tonight, we're going to do a giveaway on every one of these things. And so all you got to do to be entered is you put hashtag AA Nation in the comments. That's it. Just that. Oh, and this is all done by computer. We don't pick. It's random. It's purely random. So be sure to do that. Hashtag AA Nation. And later on this evening here, we will draw the winner, and somebody will get a free T-shirt. So there we go. All right.
Sweet.
Oh, here we go already. Where'd it go? There we go. Adam Schiff got himself censured today. Ooh, did you see Durham's comments today? Did you guys see any of that stuff that was going on?
I tried not to.
I did read about the attempt to get Adam Schiff censored, but I didn't realize it actually happened. So.
I don't know if it actually happened. I was looking at more of the public censure that he got from Durham when he was testifying. I can't remember the exact comment. He was talking about some kind of dirty politics. Essentially, Durham was, and he's like, as you would know. I was like, ooh, burn, shit. But yeah, politics is a circus. But the one thing for sure that we want to talk about, because everybody else is the Hunter Biden walk, because that's what he got, was a straight up walk. He got to walk away from that like it never even happened, which is BS, because anybody else in the same position would have been. There's mandatory minimums on these charges. The gun charge alone is 5 years. And then the photos of him with the gun and drugs makes it a 10-year minimum mandatory for that. But he gets to walk, no jail time, just probation.
At the federal level. At the federal level, yeah.
At the federal level, yeah.
Yes.
So they're violating their own rules inside the DOJ, because the DOJ's rules are they're supposed to go for the biggest charge they have the most evidence for and charge it. That's their standing rules. And they didn't do that. Huh?
Did anybody expect anything different though?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I expected no jail time. I said that. Is Hunter Biden going to prison for lying? No, he won't, because the DOJ's in his daddy's pocket. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to charge him with anything else. And what they're going to do now, Teresa made a good point about this the other night. The FBI says, the investigations into Hunter Biden aren't complete yet. So that leaves the door open for the FBI to, anytime Hunter Biden's brought up, to be like, that's an ongoing investigation. We can't comment on that. And that's what you'll hear from now till November 2024.
Also,
That's
if the
brilliant,
FBI has not finished investigating, how could they have a result to the trial? Right?
Well, they only charge him with tax evasion, but then the Treasury Department did not dig into where said income he earned that he didn't pay taxes on came from. They just said, you had this much income, you didn't pay taxes on it. And they fined him $100,000, I think 2 fines of $100,000 apiece. And they didn't look at where the money came from. And so now what you'll start hearing is, the Treasury Department looked at Hunter Biden's payments and they were fine. They didn't press no charges, so there's no story here. That'll be the other thing the media does.
That money probably came from it come from those beautiful paintings he does. That's worth tons and tons of money. That's what it is.
Yeah,
here's the paintings.
Justice system. Well, you know what he sells the originals for?
Got Imri choked up. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
You know what he sells the originals for on his paintings?
Crack.
It was ridiculous amounts.
$500,000. $500,000. You know what he sells the prints for? The photocopies?
I've not seen this. $75,000.
Yep.
For
Isn't it
a
interesting
print
how
copy.
all of his prints got bought out by a company named Burisma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made that up for the public. I made it up. I'm joking.
And like
I think you guys are being a little rough on Hunter Biden, because not everybody's talented enough to paint. Some people do finger painting, some people do paint by brush. Anybody that can paint by nose is absolutely talented. That's absolutely
paint by crack pipe. That's what he's doing. And people are getting worse sentences for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. Yeah, because that's all they're guilty of, trespassing.
Yeah.
If even that, when you're invited in and they open the door for you, don't know how it's trespassing.
Well, Chris, what you got to look at the other aspect of that was when Hunter Biden, when his father, President Biden, gets in any kind of debate during the primaries or in the general election, and they bring up Hunter Biden, he can say, "Hey, my son's already been charged. That's water under the bridge."
Yep, and that's exactly why they're doing all this crap.
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
like Joe says, Joe Biden redid his 2017 taxes and added $11 million in income. Wow, that's perfectly timed too.
Sweet.
Yeah, I wish the IRS would let me do that. I wish I had $11 million to do that.
Yeah. I wish I was like our federal government and could make a $6.2 billion accounting error in my favor, of course. In this case, it's in Ukraine's favor.
But of course, if you're a gun company and you forgot a period, then you'll have your license revoked.
Yep, they'll come in and take everything you got. Did you guys see that about the Ukrainian accounting error that works in Ukraine's favor?
There's no such thing as a Ukrainian accounting error. Just let's be clear here.
Yeah. Well, no, there is. No, you're right. It's not an accounting error. It is skullduggery. So what they did is they said, "Oh, we valued all of the equipment we gave to Ukraine at replacement cost. We need to write it off for depreciation, and that's the true value of what we gave them, not replacement cost anymore." So now they have another $6.2 billion more in inventory, because it's not money, it's inventory we're sending them. They're going to give them another $6.2 billion worth of our military hardware.
I'll tell you what, man. It'll be worth it. That's totally worth it. If, as long as when they get done doing this little dance with Russia, they can go and take out all of the gear that we didn't sell to the Taliban.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, go deal with American gear with American gear.
Somebody's making a strange noise out there. I don't know. Somebody's touching something. It sounds like burp, 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 like a frog's in the house. I keep hearing it. I don't know where that's coming from.
I don't know.
All in the works, guys. This is only the first one. So we didn't have it on
That's
our practice ones, though. Let me see. Yeah, and like Paul Summerall here says, they're protecting him by convicting him on those charges now with a slap on the wrist, prevents a Trump DOJ from charging him in a double jeopardy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they left open the money laundering and the conspiracy charges and everything else that come along with that. And conspiracy is the one that always gets you. So that's the one that sticks. And here we go. Jim Anderson says the censure passed by a party line vote of 213 to 209 with 6 Republicans voting present. Well, those 6 Republicans need to be voted out of office.
Good start.
So they did censure him, but it's kind of, they're going to call it partisan politics. The Democrats will, even though they do it every day and it's all good to go.
Well, let's be honest. It is partisan politics, right? It's all partisan politics now. Everything that happens is partisan, including that. Look, the fact that we all know that man to be a atrocious, un-American, horrible human. It's still, it's partisan, right? Our feelings in this matter are partisan. He should be censured. He should be out of there, as should the majority of people in politics today. But let's be clear. It is all very much from one side or the other.
Oh yeah, the both sides play it, and I always say the Democrats are always short-sighted because once they have the power, they'll weaponize it like they're doing now, and they'll create all kinds of new rules and bend the rules and push the envelope everywhere to get what they want, forgetting that someday it's likely that there will be another Republican president, unless they figure they've got the game so well rigged now that can't happen. And then the Republicans can come in and do the same stuff to them, although the Republicans never do it because they're cowardly and won't fight the Democrats on their own level. So, yeah, guys, make sure your cell phones aren't near your cable because whenever Imri's talking, I'm hearing that frog. But I know you're on your phone probably, so weird.
I'm on an iPad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go with every time I talk, Sue doesn't want me to talk, so he's making like farting noises or something.
No.
Jamming your feed.
Someone's jamming his feed.
Jamming his feed up.
No, I just got a text message from my son. He's making fun of my shirt, so I need to.
That's what kids are supposed to do.
I need to go shirtless.
No, you don't. No, let's not do that.
Well,
and if that's all he's got,
Imri shirts, I'll be skins. How's that? Yeah.
Imri shirts, I'll be skins. Oh my god!
Yeah, you know what, Stu? Sometimes you're brilliant. Sometimes you're brilliant.
No. I think on the back on the whole Hunter Biden thing. I mean, it's going to get worse, especially on these secret documents thing. I mean, only a president can declassify documents, and we have somebody who was a senator, a State Department representative, everything that have been found with documents, admitted to holding documents, a vice president holding documents, Pence and Biden both, and look behind. Well, look at there.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, the difference.
There's a classified document. See, it says secret. And this was given to me in his award. This is the English version of basically a leaflet drop done in Fallujah, Second Battle of Fallujah, with my picture on it. But it says secret up here. So I hope the FBI SWAT team doesn't show up out the window. Sorry.
That makes an awesome video, though. I mean,
Yeah, I hope
You know what,
ring
Sue,
camera.
if you want to be safe, just take that outside, put it next to your Corvette. You're good to go.
I wish I could put it next to my Corvette, but I don't have one. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you know, the difference between Trump and vice presidents is, and this is established case law already, that a departing president can, at his own discretion, declassify any document he wants and take it with him.
that's right.
And the courts have already ruled that by his mere possession of it outside the White House, back to his private residence, he has declassified. It is deemed declassified and in his possession.
And
That's
who
established case law.
who was that case law on?
Bill Clinton.
Mr. Bill Clinton.
That's right. That's right. So Little Rock, Arkansas, the Clinton Library has tons of declassified top secret documents there. So you're exactly right, Chris. So I don't see how this can be even a case.
It's not. They're desperate, and you know, and Bragg, that New York prosecutor who's going after him, he's charging Trump with mishandling documents. Yet his office can't seem to keep his documents in line because there's FOIA requests for stuff which he's refusing to give, which he can't do under New York's FOIA laws. And so, there are a couple of lawsuits have been filed against him already, wanting the documents. I don't know if you guys follow Tom Fenton, Judicial Watch, but I highly recommend you follow him because he covers this stuff like nobody's business. He's neck deep in it.
Well, the prosecutor on the document thing is out of your state, Chris. That's down in Florida. That prosecutor is actually down in Florida.
On the I'm sorry, you're right on that case. Yeah, I'm talking about the one for New York that Bragg is trying to charge him with, Bragg is trying to charge him under a federal statute in state court. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and what Will said, everybody hit the like button. I know I hate to be the guy that asked that because it's so cheesy on a video, but it does matter for now.
it does matter.
While we're messing with YouTube, it matters. I can't wait for Twitter to get a viable video platform up because that's where we'll be.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we'll be. So, but yeah, he got. Oh, the other part of Hunter Biden's sentence, his record gets expunged. So he takes a plea deal. Yeah, he pleads guilty to these charges.
Wow.
And
I
then
didn't even see
immediately
that.
expunge his record. Yeah. Yep. So he's got to stay sober for 24 months too. But what do you want to bet? No one tests him and all that time.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
They'll
what
test
a
him for
deal.
marijuana
What a
when
deal.
he's smoking crack.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable. It's just blatant. It is. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's just blatant, in your face. Make up your own rules as you go. I mean, that's where we're at in this world right now. What do we do at this point? You know, there's the real question. What do we do at this point when you just make up the rules? Yeah, here I am smoking crack with, hookers and, money getting shifted around all ridiculously, and oh no, not only that, you get expunged. We're going to expunge everything after you take this deal.
Well, and I think we've been seeing this for the last few years, even back during the Obama administration, and then of course the run up to the 2016 election when everybody just got away scot-free. What does this tell the rest of the American people is that our culture starts disrespecting authority. I mean, nobody really cares, and they're like, well, they'll come after me, but they won't come after themselves. So what it does is it's part of turning our people against their own government. I mean, they just don't like it, and they don't trust their government after that. When you have a two-tiered system, and Lady Justice isn't blind, and then people,
she's blindfolded in this case, like literally like the statue. She can't see shit.
Yeah, and then the regular American people just look for ways not to follow the rules because they think that everybody else gets away with it. Why can't I do it too?
Well, that and they're incentivized to by reducing punishments and no jail time and no bail and all this stuff they do. they know there's no consequences for their actions. And I think there's a case to be made personally against the titles of nobility clause of the Constitution, because in my personal opinion, titles like senator, congressman, and president and vice president are essentially royalty at this point because of the perks they give themselves and the fact that they're untouchable. Nobody can come after them, depending on who's in office. And the Constitution clearly states that no titles of nobility will be given. And I think that those positions now, especially senators in particular, has morphed into a nobility of sorts.
Well,
Chris, I think that's a really good point you make. But I'd like to point out that I don't think any of this is new. I think all of this has been happening forever. And the only difference now is the fact that we have internet and we have all this information that is at our fingertips all the time. And it's just so easy to get stuff out and make every stupid thing sensationalized. This stuff, what they're doing is evil. It's obviously wrong. It's unconstitutional, and it's un-American. These politicians are un-American. But I don't think any of this is new, right? We just in the past didn't hear about stuff like this as much because it was much easier for those evil people doing this stuff to hide, to shut it down in the news, right?
That's a great point. I mean, it's both sides. Not only are we seeing it more because of the internet, but they use the internet, they use media and all that stuff to push their what they're trying to do, and in turn, we are seeing the things that they do. They're more exposed now, so it's both sides. It's both sides of it. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Imri. That's exactly what's going on. And it is. It's a sick, twisted. It's become a sick, twisted, free for all world.
Yes, it has, and the, like Sue said, the degradation of society against the rule of law, not necessarily authority, but just the rule of law as a concept, is going to be the most destructive thing to us. We want to take a quick minute, guys. I want to plug my Patreon. You guys can hit up the Patreon. We do lives there Tuesday nights. There's going to be more stuff coming. There's nothing been put up there in a while because I'm trying to finish book 12 because I'm so far behind schedule. But I'm getting very, very close right now. So roll that Patreon plug.
Yeah, guys, you can join Patreon for $1, really. I mean, that gets you into the lives. Some stuff is for certain tiers.
Levels Thad and above. Levels Thad, Sarge, and Morgan get free books. And, that are written. Come to you.
Now you get all kinds of perks, too. Like
we used to do patches,
patches are coming, but we also send out stickers. We send out decals. I mean, we send stuff out all the time. Every month, just about something goes out for Patreon, just as a gift. Just here, guys, just for being at these tiers, you get them for free.
There we go,
Chris.
Hit up Patreon. Fire away. Do it.
All right. One, why is Thad the lowest level, and is that racist?
It's not.
Two,
it's not the lowest level.
No, I'm kidding.
That's not the lowest level.
Two is, when do I get an Imri patch?
You got to wait a little bit. Patches are going to start back up next month. I've been giving away character patches, but we took a hiatus from that because when COVID hit, I couldn't get patches anywhere. It was just difficult. So now that all that crap's behind us, I finally found a patch company. I got to email the guy again today. We're going back and forth. We're doing some in PVC. I'm looking for an IR reflective patch to get made too, stuff like that. So I'm working on it, and we'll have them. We'll have them eventually. Anybody who's just joined, don't forget to comment hashtag AA Nation to be entered into the drawing for a free shirt. We're just going to give one away. So, and T, you said earlier, it kind of segues into the next thing we want to talk about was you said your power went out and for what, less than 24 hours probably?
Yeah, it was about 24 hours is what it was. So 24 hours. One of those rude awakenings, it went out yesterday late. And you're like, it'll probably be on in the morning, and then you get up and it's not on in the morning. So it's, it's nice to have that happen though. It's nice to have it happen just to see what you do. Make sure you got what you need on hand, which is, have extra food, extra water. Of course, we had the generators on backup just in case. They were saying, 2:30 they would have it back on. But yeah, here I think it was about a year or two ago, we here in Wilkes next to the mountain range, It's nothing for a tree to fall over and take power lines out. So, it was about 6 days we didn't have any power. So, it's good to be prepared to test your preparedness. And that's what we did today. So I had coffee. It was a little late. I'm gonna blame Amber for that. She should have had that water out there on the grill a little faster. But at the end of the day, I still got the coffee in. So I was only irritable for a few extra hours of the day.
So do you have any kind of backup power? Anything? I mean, I'm sure you have a generator, but do you have any like the little power banks boxes you can tote around, that kind of thing?
Yeah. We keep on hand here. Of course, we've got the wood burning stove for wintertime purposes, and of course, you cook on it, stuff like that. We store propane tanks with the little heaters on them, and then we've got our grill for cooking. Water wise, we were fortunate enough with this property. We actually looked specifically for live water on property when we moved here 8 years ago. And we got lucky enough to have a spring that comes out of the side of the hill that we own, which also flows down and goes into the pond before it overflows. And then the well, of course, is capped on an artesian spring from many moons ago. And when you're not using water, it's just pumping water out in the pond. So you can go down there and fill up a jug of water, no power. That's the kind of stuff, in my opinion, that's number one. When we were looking for this property, it was at least 20 acres, heavily wooded, and source of water on the property. And so I think that's huge. That was number one priority for us.
Well, you have to have water on your property, because if you don't, you will leave your property and go to water. How about you, Sue? Is there any water on your property where you're at?
Yes, I'm lucky enough, like T. I originally, when I retired from the military, I wanted to go back out west to the Rocky Mountains, but I'm kind of glad I'm here. Because I've got an actual creek that runs behind my house. I got a pond that's in front of my house, and then I'm sitting on a well that's probably about 60 feet. If we lose electricity and everything, I do know how to pull the pump and figure out how to get water out of the wells too. But I really don't need the well.
No, as long as you have access to surface water, you're fine. And Imri, I know you're a gypsy, so you're here, there.
I was gonna say, I got my water thing figured out. On one tank of gas, I can get anywhere I need and drink all of Sue's creek water. Don't drink Sue's water out of the pond, by the way. I peed in it.
Imri, I'm still hearing those grunting noises. Are you sitting in the hog pen?
It sounds like he's sitting in the hog pen. Like you got a pig on your feet. You're just rubbing him with your feet. You're just rubbing his belly. And just down there.
No. I told you they were goats.
I told you they were goats.
I don't believe you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those must be some.
I apologize too for all the background noise there. I had Amber shoot me in the back with an airsoft gun over that coffee comment, I believe was what that was.
Negative reinforcement works, bro. Negative reinforcement works.
You know what? When you're dumb like all guys are, the Pavlovian, process really works.
Yeah.
Positive or negative.
Well, she just yelled prior to that. She said, "You're going to pay for that," and then some other choice words is what I heard in the background. So.
Oh, here we go. KT, what's up, brother? Awesome giveaway, man. Let me know who wins them. I'm curious. I gave him some books at my book signing to give away on his channel. So
nice.
So Sue's doing his guerrilla gardening.
I want to mention that. Can you go? A lot of people are new to this. Let me see if I can reach it here. Go back to this is something I suggest to everybody. And I don't think everybody is quite aware of your novel set, but one of the accessories that Angery American sells is
hooked on phonics.
Is the family
oh yeah,
family emergency plan. Can we?
Yep.
This right here, guys, is really what you need to just kind of peruse through it, and it'll start getting you better equipped to what you really need to concentrate on.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
it's that starting point,
Fortune Favors and Prepared.com is where you can get those workbooks. As a matter of fact, for tonight's giveaway, whoever gets the shirt gets one of those workbooks too. I'm going to throw that in there because I have some of it.
Chris, would you mind please adding a section on that website? You should probably hand out the exact same thing, just add a couple bucks to it and add some color inside the lines parts for Sue.
Color and lines. Why? He can't stay inside the lines, and you know it.
Oh my God!
I know. That's why it's great.
All right.
Vigilant Preparedness says, I've been in a couple personal advanced situations. First was Winter Storm, Atlas in South Dakota in 2016. Second was the Derecho, whatever the fuck you call it, in South Dakota. And 2021, and without preps, life would have sucked. And that's why you want to be ready. Like Alan Kay says, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And Lori says, I like living on a mountaintop. I like to be creative about where you plant your gardens. I have 4 this year. And she's a food storing machine right there.
For sure. Yes. And a shout out to Lori. Thanks for joining in.
Here you go, Imri, right there. Nick says he can send it with crayons too.
Imri, how do you spell your last name, Imri?
I was just gonna say I'm not worried about you writing in that book that I bought you because I know you can't spell my name. Monkey.
I know you can't spell my name. Holy hell. Lord mercy have it. So well, I guess it's that time. We're gonna go ahead and do the giveaway since I just mentioned it. So tonight you're gonna get a t-shirt. You'll let us know what size, whoever wins this. And I'm gonna send one of Nick Meacher's preparedness workbooks with it to the winner. So, and again, we'll put his link back up where you guys can go get those. I highly recommend. I need to have Nick on the show so we can talk about it actually.
Yeah.
So, and there we go. Let's do it. Let's check who's going to win. And ooh, there they go. See, we don't have to pick. I love this part. Justin Morton. There you go, brother. Oh, James Gill, you're too slow.
Congratulations.
Man. You're just barely too slow.
You just won Sue's shirt.
So Justin, hit up Mel, Russ, or Teresa, or me, or somebody, preferably one of them other 3, because I won't see it for a week if you message me. Yeah, there you go. That's it. They're Russ and Angery American. True story. Hey, man.
I'm just jealous is what it is. I wish that I had that. Well, with the job, I can't. But yeah, it is. I'll send Chris a text, and then like 6 days later, he'd be like, "Yeah, you know what's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, right?" I wish one day when I grow up.
One day I'm trying to write a book, man, and talking on the phone all day is not conducive to that task. So I keep bring her off.
I'm not mad at you at all.
Let me back you up, Chris, a second here, because I can relate. Right, ever since I. And then, give me just a second for my bitching session. But
Imri, you haven't even read a book. How can you be writing a book?
You know what, Sue? I've been listening, and I'm on book 7. Okay.
Audio books.
I don't care. I make more money on it, so I'm happy he's doing it.
Oh yeah. I buy it outright. Here's what I want to say is, since I joined up with Carl and Tactical Rifleman and Sue and the whole gang, I got to tell you that this is insane. I'll show you on my phone. Let me open this up and show you just how nuts. Where's the thing? Look at that. Can you read the number?
There's triple digits on your text messages and your phone call.
And that's why. And that's not even the Telegram and Signal Labs and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I can relate. And guys, and here's why I'm saying this on the podcast right now. I feel guilty. I feel bad, right? Because a lot of people try to reach out, and I'm a horrible human.
I'm glad you finally realized it.
I realized it years ago. I'm just admitting it publicly. But yeah, man, it is difficult. I know that I am losing business because of it, because I'm a one-man show, right? Mm-hmm. And it just is what it is. And I apologize. And if anybody who's listening, I'm saying this for your guys' benefit. just so you understand, people try to reach out. I love everybody that gets involved and tries to reach out and connect with what we're doing, right?
Yep.
I want everybody to understand. Now that I'm in the position of understanding this side of things, it's difficult, right? I used to be the guy who, let me pick Sue's nose a second. I want to be I used to be the guy where I ordered a custom rifle, right? Army gave me a nice check when I got out, and I went, like any responsible adult, and blew the whole thing on one gun.
There you go.
And I had it custom made, and every 3 or 4 days I'd be on the phone to the guy. Lloyd, where's my gun? I want you to give me an update. What part of manufacturing are you on? Blah, blah, blah. And man, that guy he wanted to shut my lights off, right? And I get it. I get it now. And so I can relate. And those of you guys who have like 3 text messages to catch up on, I hope you guys can be a little bit understanding. That's all.
Yeah, it is tough because I get the same thing: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the cell phone, text messages, all the crap. And if I talk to every person that tries to contact me today, I literally can't get anything done. Because, every person's a figure a half hour, right? 5-6 people a day minimum that want to do that. It just kills my day. I can't talk to everybody.
Then I go and spend 12 hours on the range. I come out and my phone looks like I just showed you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, Imri, your life.
No idea what that.
Oh,
we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended.
I didn't know this was going to be a self-awareness of pity me Imri show.
Ooh.
You see, Sue, even in public, nobody's listening to you.
Even in public, nobody's listening to you.
They're all
guys,
here
if anybody had any questions about this, the reason that this idiot and this idiot are on the show is because of what you're seeing, because we're idiots. I guess people find that interesting.
You're good dudes. And as everybody will find out moving forward, you guys are knowledgeable. So, but hey, let's put you to the test. I bet I'm going to get some blank stares for this one. So you guys tracking what China's doing in Cuba?
Yes.
Cuba.
Training site in Cuba. Yes.
Training base in Cuba. And a naval base. They're trying to put a naval base in Cuba too. That's not talked about as much, but that's also one of their deep desires is a port in Cuba that is Chinese. But yeah, so they're looking at putting a training base in. The Russians, I imagine the Chinese and the Cubans are working together at the Lourdes listening station there. The SIGINT, big SIGINT post that's there. And I'm sure that they're all 3 working together on that. And that's going to be a problem. Last time they were monkeying around down there, Kennedy threatened to start a war. We were ready to go to war over it. He told Khrushchev to get the missiles out of there, which there's no missiles there yet, but we don't actually. There might be, for all we know. Hell,
yeah, that we know of.
Yeah,
I seem to remember hearing about the whole China and Cuba thing last year. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I want to say there was something I was hearing about this. Like this has been going on for a little bit. I see smiling.
Yeah, I just put that up for everybody's benefit, Imri. They have been. Like the listening post that's down there, the Lourdes station, everybody kind of blows it off like it isn't no big deal. But if you look at it through a sat image and see where it's located and all the stuff that's there, it's right next to a university. There's an interstate that's like 6 lane wide that dead ends into it. Looks more like a runway. I think it's even oriented north to south. It looks like a runway going to that base. And there's been a major uptick in activity there. More stuff coming and going and in and out. So, for a fact that thing's back up and running. And if China was to put a port there, I wonder how loud Biden would complain about that. I wonder if he would have Blinken go and visit him again and then return home and say, we believe in the one China policy. We do not believe in the 2-nation solution. Basically telling China, we're not going to do shit. Or he went there to Xi and Xi spanked him and told him to go home and tote the water. And he did that, Yeah, and like Anthony uses, they'll use Cuba to tie our forces down. What folks have to remember is they're not ever going to, I don't think personally, this is my opinion, they're not ever going to try to put boots here because logistically it's a nightmare for them. They don't need to ship troops over because we'll see it happen when they have millions of Chinese pre-positioned in this country already. Millions.
Well, I was going to say they don't need to, right? This day and age, for the most part, right among the big contenders, there's not really a need for actual boots on the ground.
No, there's not.
Because these days, and the prime example, of course, is what's already been going on here in the States for years. Arguably, Russia started this process in 1970 against the U.S. And you can completely destroy a country from the inside. And if you look at a decent example that most people are not aware of, and this is, I think, partially from external places, a lot of this is naturally happening in Iran, right? If you look at the Iranian threat, they may be very close to a bomb. In all reality, they may already have a bomb that we don't know about yet. But if you look at everything going on right here in the news, people that really dig into the news have seen that there are mass protests, riots. Now they've calmed down already, or they've been quelled in Iran. But what's happening there is you have a lot of ethnic groups, and they're kind of separated, and they all want their regions to be outside of the control of the Ayatollahs. And so what's happening is external forces now can come in and just kind of prod a little bit at each one of those. Hey, don't you guys deserve your own little piece of homeland and all of that? And so when you look at that process going on in Iran, now tie that back to what's going on here, where we are becoming divided. And it's so easy with like an Instagram post or a YouTube video to just inflame a whole group of people, right? And what kind of strife that causes to a country on a very large scale.
Well, you used Iran as an example, Imri, but you don't have to look at Iran. Look here, because that hybrid insurgency is being conducted right here. We're witnessing it in real time.
Chris, that's exactly the point I'm making.
How many of you saw the original movie where basically it was based in Colorado and everything, but the movie where the Russians came in and took over.
Red Dawn?
Red Dawn, yeah, the original.
Really? Did you forget the name of Red Dawn?
No, I didn't. I didn't forget it. I was just reading what one of the Patreons said, and if you notice, the first credit, or not the credits, but the first backstaging of the movie, they were talking about how through illegal immigration that they had teams already set in the country. My question, being from Del City, Texas, they're on the border, not far from El Paso. I would like to know if the Border Patrol or U.S. Customs can tell us how many national Chinese they've caught crossing the southern border in the last 24 months. How many they actually captured?
Well, I don't know,
or accounted for.
But KT right there says 400,000 military-age Chinese males have crossed the border in the last 2 years. 400,000. That's just in the last 2 years.
So boots on the ground. Well, throw that other company out. How about BlackRock? Just going to throw that out right there.
Yeah.
All the dealings that they've got of buying up everything, China buying up through them, everything in the United States. If you own most of the United States, foreign powers do, then you don't really have to take it over. You already own it.
Well, and they don't need to take us over. So they're, with the BRICS, there's like 34 nations now trying to get involved in BRICS. France just said they're going to leave the EU and go to the BRICS. Egypt just applied to the BRICS. And now you got countries like Kenya saying, why are we trading in US dollars when we're doing trade with other nations here in Africa? We shouldn't be doing that. So they're gonna dump the dollar. Biden told Yellen to be prepared for China to dump all their T-bills overnight at any given point. Like, that's coming. So they're telegraphing stuff. They're getting ready for that. All they need to do is isolate us, and they can really do it by crushing our economy and reducing our ability to respond. We're already tied up in Ukraine with all our hardware. We're running out of inventory here.
That when you see digital currency roll out, and I'm a firm believer that's coming, it's going to happen. There's no way to control everything without digital currency. I mean, that's the game changer right there. When you see that happens, I hope your preps are good. You're going to need them.
Was that, isn't it July 1 that the central bank digital currency becomes real? Isn't it July 1st, I think? So it's coming. You're right, because it's on the books and already planned. It'll be here.
Yeah.
You know what? All that's not going to make a difference to me because I'm going to have zero digital currency, which translates perfectly to my current bank account.
They're going to be a mirror.
Come take it, guys. Come take it.
That's a valid point for that. Valid point for that. But no, I mean, the reality of it is, though, is, you know, what kind of control can you pull when all you have is numbers on a screen, right? And I'm not talking, you know, yeah, we all got stuff that we've got and you know, physical things that we possess, but you know, can't buy, can't sell. You know, it comes down to trading, bartering. If you're not going to do that,
can't travel, can't enter. That's right.
Healthcare. I mean, look at healthcare at that point. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, no. If you don't have that vaccination, then you're not. You know, you can't have any of your money there on your cell phone or your computer chip implant, which is happening. I mean, I was watching a video of a lady who got one and thought it was awesome. You know, that she didn't have to carry her wallet. I'm like, wow, that's pretty scary.
Did you guys see where USAID, which is an NGO sponsored by the government, of course, went into Ukraine and got the Ukrainians onto a digital ID system? And now, Ukrainians have a digital ID system. Yes, they do.
Wow.
Done by USAID. We did it. And now they're trying to take that model now that they've successfully done it in Ukraine, which, you know, they're at war. Oh, we're going to come and help you. We'll make this simple for you. We'll do this. But now they're trying to export that to all the other countries, and they're going to try to bring it here too. You can bet your ass, because once you have a digital currency and a digital ID, they can unperson you with the snap of their fingers. You know, go in and kill your ability to communicate, travel, purchase, do anything. And then you're alone in the wild. They don't care what you say or do, because you can't talk to nobody, really. No cell phones, no social media, no internet. You can't buy shit because you got access to money, and you can't travel because they just turned your ID off. And they could even just go delete, and now you're totally gone. You're a nobody now.
Yeah, that's
where this AI stuff's going to come in. I mean, this is some scary stuff, man, and that's how it's going to roll out. Digital currency, and we can't have him running his yap. Boom, click of the button, done deal.
Well, since T is running his yap, let's talk about mountain readiness, T.
Let's do it. So, where are we going with this? For the next one?
Yeah, just in general, what mountain readiness is, and go ahead and throw them our next one coming up, and then we'll run a little promo everybody can look at, and we'll move on. But we got to pitch mountain readiness.
Awesome. Appreciate that, brother. So, mountain readiness was just our my wife and I, Amber, our dream of bringing all aspects of survival and preparedness together, whether it be homesteading, bushcrafting, prepping, tactical side of it, because it all intertwines, it all intermingles. It's necessary if you want to survive. You got to have it all. You can't just have one without the other. Yeah. So that was what we did. We brought together the like-minded folks from all aspects of survival and preparedness. And the first one went off good, which was this last May. We'll have another one coming up this May 2024, God willing. And of course, we've got something coming up in October, Hanging with Angery. We'll be punching that out on the media here very shortly. But that's it. That was 8 years of us, our trials and tribulations of moving here to North Carolina, and we saw a need for something like this to bring people together in this neck of the woods and share, because it's not easy. If you've done this, and everybody here has done this on certain levels, it's you have this A to B line. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, and this year, and nothing happens. It doesn't happen. It's not a straight line. It's a big squiggly mark back and forth. Yeah. So that's what we're doing with mountain readiness.
Yeah, and so the next one is October 20th to the 22nd. We will have Nick Meacher there giving free ham radio tests, guys. So all you got to pay is the FCC parts. I think it's $35, but you can take your test for free. So come on up and sit down. Mel's supposed to sit for her tech. I'm going to sit for my extra. And I know we got some people going for generals and stuff like that. Oh, thank you for putting it up there. And but yeah, come on down to Mountain Readiness the 20th or 22nd and take your ham test. Get your ticket, get on the radio, and then you can tune in to Stump Knocker on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time on DMR. So, any of you guys have radio equipment?
Are you asking me?
No.
Any of you in general? Yeah, any of you.
I was a communication expert in the Green Berets, so all I know is Morse code, and I failed my ham radio operator's license. So.
Expert, yeah, previous, or former, and spurt. Short burst of energy with no staying power.
I didn't like communicate. As soon as we went to voice communication, I was like, "Here, sir, it's for you. I don't want to talk on it." So
I don't want to talk on it. Yeah, there we go, guys.
No, but T brings up a good point, and you all bring up a good point, especially going back to the digital currency thing. That's the biggest, scariest thing for me, especially for all the retired military out there. I mean, we are supposed to get our paychecks once a month. Most of us pay our mortgage off of that paycheck. We're in a contract with the government. We've done all this work. We fulfilled our side of the contract. If we go to a digital currency and we don't comply with what the government says, do we still get our credits? And I don't think that's going to happen. And that's probably my biggest fear, because being a man who's been through 4 divorces, I really don't want to start over again. But
tired of buying houses you don't live in no more, sir?
Yeah, I'm tired of that. But that's what the whole Mountain Readiness thing is, and the hanging with Angery American and the kind of things that Imri and I teach is we're trying to empower people with knowledge. No matter what happens, whether it's natural or man-made, you need to equip yourself with the knowledge on how to maintain, how to carry on, how to protect your family, feed your family, and basically take your family into grandchildren and great-grandchildren, because that's what it's really all about, is continuing your culture into the future. That's bottom line. That's what it's really about.
Yep. Keeping it going.
Amen to that.
Except for Imri, because he is a gelded man. He will never have any seed continuing.
Oh my, thank God.
But you've already contaminated the world with your seed.
Yeah, that's just. I figured there was enough of that garbage in the world. Enough of me out there. There wouldn't be no more of that. Did you guys see this? Anthony brings us up. Chris, what about the report on the nuclear forces needing to learn queer theory per the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists? Did you guys see this?
No.
You didn't read this? I read it today. I read the article even, and it went on to expound how not having transgender people inside our nuclear forces is a threat to our nuclear forces, and how if we only had transgender and queer people in there, we'd be much better prepared.
Oh, is that what the commander, the commandant, or the commander, or whatever she calls herself, of Space Force? Is that what?
No, that was the one that said she won't promote people from Florida because of Ron DeSantis's policies against children being medically altered in this state for no reason.
And inside the Space Force, they call they don't call them soldiers, they call them guardians. So
no, you're kidding me.
That's the rumor. They're going to call them guardians. So who are they guardians for? Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick, because I believe this is a bit of a misnomer, Hillbilly. So he says the problem with silver and gold is this: if things collapse, it has no basis. How much bread does 1 ounce of silver buy? Who is set up to use silver or gold? Will value change per city state? The reason you invest in PMs right now, guys, is not for bartering. If you're stacking stuff to barter, don't stack PMs. Okay. Stack commodities that will last. Think stuff everybody needs. Literally socks, toothbrushes, toothpaste, that kind of soap. Stock that stuff. The reason you stock metals is we were just talking about the digital currency coming. And one of these days we're going to wake up, probably in the not too far future, and the news is going to be all the dollar is dead, all hail the new digital dollar. And when that happens, you're going to be able to get more digital dollars with gold and silver than you will with old dollars, because the exchange rate will not be 1-to-1. I guarantee you. They're gonna crush people. Make it 50, 500 to 1, whatever. So you have the PMs as a storage of wealth. That's what it's for. And then two,
initially,
keep a gold around is valuable because sometimes a Krugerrand at a border checkpoint will get you through and nothing else will. So
that's it. Yeah, that's a great point. Maybe they don't. Yeah, that's a great point. Maybe they've shut you down and you don't get any digital currency because of something that you did, but maybe you need to get somewhere, and someone that does have those capabilities, you can hook him up with get through this checkpoint for this particular token. That's great. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, I know an old SAS guy that carried a Krugerrand in his wallet, and he also said never buy an expensive watch. He's like, you'll be at some checkpoint and some soldier will take a liking to it and they'll take it from you. So he's like, always wear a cheap watch and always carry a Krugerrand or at least a 1 ounce gold in your wallet to get you to a border crossing.
If you can do it, do it. Silver is the great alternative, but I mean, I've always been a big fan of the silver thing. And let's look at it this way. I'm sure there'll come a day where maybe it isn't worth anything. It goes back to plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. You can never have too many game plans. And, gold and silver has been the standard since the beginning of civilization. So I'm willing to stick with it for a little bit.
The term real money comes to mind. That's real money. It has an intrinsic value. I mean, not only do people covet it, but it has an industrial application. Therefore, it has intrinsic value for jewelry and everything else. So the dollar bills that we have, there's no intrinsic value there. That's all faith. That's just all us saying, I hope it's still good.
Yeah. I mean, where did everything start going downhill when we started changing when our dollars were not gold and silver certificates? Right? I mean, that's where it all started going bad. Oh, yeah, no, that's not a gold certificate anymore. It's just a silver certificate. Nope, just kidding. It's just a piece of paper. It's a piece of cotton with a dead person on it. But it's worth a bunch,
That was an executive order done by executive order in 1971 by President Nixon.
Yep.
The Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, said that this nation will use gold and silver or paper money redeemable for gold or silver. Right there in the Constitution. So we got off that a long time ago by executive order.
Yeah. And when Roosevelt, remember when Roosevelt was in office, what did he do? He confiscated gold.
Yeah, well, he had to because he couldn't raise any more funds. So he made it
printed too much money.
Yeah, he made it illegal for citizens to own gold coins or gold bullion.
That's the next thing that I expect. I'm not saying it's going to happen soon, but that I do expect that to make a comeback, especially once they've killed the dollar and we're on a digital only currency. I could see that sort of thing happening where they'll come out and say it's illegal to possess physical metals anymore.
Oh, yeah. I do it. Yeah, you got to turn it all in. You got to turn it all in because we keep printing money like it's going out of style, and so we need all that precious metal back.
Yep. So since we're winding down here to the top of the hour, guys, we're going to say you could go to the Patreon if you're a patron, jump in there, and there'll be a little bit of an after show. We'll be in there answering some questions and carrying on for a few minutes. And we don't have to be as delicate as what we say there. Let's put it that way. We're testing the waters, guys. So we're trying to be nice and friendly and keep everybody happy with what we're doing here right now. But we want to see how close we can get to the line without getting in trouble, without actually getting in trouble. So, and guys, if you like this, hit the like, the subscribe, do all the things, all that's necessary. It all adds to the Facebook or the YouTube robots that run this thing, because that's what it is. It's not people never look at any of this crap, but hitting the like, hitting the subscribe thing, all that matters, and it all adds up for us. So please do that for us. And then you can get the podcast of this. You'll be able to download pretty much everywhere. You'll start seeing it. I don't know when we'll see it. When will we see it, Holly? But you'll start seeing it soon. And those will be coming out once a week. They'll hit on the same day. You guys always have a new one. And that's it. Guys, you got anything you want to close out with?
I think we covered a lot of ground.
I would like to say that I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona next week for our next podcast or our next show, and hopefully I can get Cody DeSoma of Patriot Ordnance Factory to talk about work ethic and the younger generation. Nice. I think you guys will be surprised at how many people in the younger generation, the generation behind us, actually have a very strong work ethic, and they see what's going on. They're not stupid. So hopefully I'll get him to be a guest and sit next to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, we can always have them on too. Because, we will be having guests on here, guys. So there'll be us four, and then sometimes somebody might miss, and, life happens. But we also have some guests we want to bring on here too. So remember that. And we'll always post who's coming. So, but next week it'll just be the four of us because, we're just getting this thing rolling. So we got to get a few under our belt, and then we'll start having visitors.
Yeah.
And so you guys know the drill. Till next time, be good or be good at it.